said that if he stood on a hill, wherever his eye fell was all his. He had cattle, he had farms, he had works, he had children. He was prospering for 70 good years. One day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides to test him. How much does Ayub love me? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away everything. Everything burns down. All his farmlands laid to waste. All the animals die of an unknown disease. All his children die in one go. This is not happening over time. This is in one short period of time. Everything falls up around him to such an extent that he is afflicted with an illness that leaves him weak and unable to sustain himself. If in our time, God forbid, this kind of affliction was to happen to me, I would not be surprised. I would really not be surprised if even my community members, my family members, my friends did what the people of Ayub did at the time. What did they do? They took Ayub and put him out of the town. Why? Because they said this affliction could also befall us. They put him out of town because they said there is no treatment for his illness. Nabi Ayub's wife comes to him and says, Ya Ayub, you are the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you raise your hands, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace everything for you. Nabi Ayub says, he smiles and he says, 70 years when I enjoyed the ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and today for one moment if he's trying me, I should turn back to him and start crying? Can I not bear this small affliction? Look at Sayyida Zaynab AS. Similarly, maybe not as an affliction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but an affliction caused by the ummah. She lost everything in one go. One day, when in the morning on the Fajr of Ashura she woke up, she had everything. The children were there, the brother was there, the household was full, there was everything. She was a Malika because Janab Abdullah had quite a bit of investment. But when the day of Ashura finishes, Bibi Zaynab becomes Asir and is taken as a prisoner. She loses everything. Does she lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No. Even in the darbar of Yazid, when Yazid was doubting her, look what your God has done to you. Janab Zaynab beautifully replies and says, this is not the deed of my Lord. This is your zulm for which you will have to pay. Same case as Ayub, she bore it with patience. What happened to Janab Ibrahim? Janab Ibrahim was asked to sacrifice his son. Kalimullah, friend of Allah, Habibullah, the intimate of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he is asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my friend, sacrifice your son, Nabi Ibrahim goes to sacrifice the son but puts a blindfold on his eye. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lifts off this problem from him and says, I will replace it with a ram. Here is Bibi Zaynab on the plains of Karbala, in front of her eyes, she gives her children. In the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if it was me in her place, for example, would I be so ready to give my children so quickly? And not only give, but as soon as she heard that the children have been accepted as sacrifice in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she falls on the ground in sujood and thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing her with this sacrifice. Do I have that strength? Ibrahim, did he have that strength? So my friends, from this lady's life, from this holy lady's life, we have so many lessons to learn. How did she conduct herself when playing the different roles of a mother, of a wife, of a daughter, of an aunt? One more example that I would like to end with. When you look at Bibi Zaynab, after the tragedy of Karbala, everything has been taken away. If it was, unfortunately, I must say this, that in our time, it even begins at my own home, because charity begins at home. So if I'm giving bad examples, they should start in my own life. I should not be pointing fingers when four fingers are pointing back at me. Even in my life, what happens in our households? Our ladies look for an excuse, for example, not to do rida, not to be careful of their tongues, of what they are uttering. Look at Bibi Zaynab, even when she had an excuse not to do hijab, when the hijab had been snatched, she still maintains the respect and the decorum such that the other people, those who are taunting them, were forced to say, this is definitely the house of the Holy Prophet. She did not say that because the hijab has been taken, now I can come out with my hair open. In fact, she should lament and she should keep her head down and she should cover herself with her hair. She should do everything possible to make sure that her rida and her hijab was maintained. She made sure that whatever the sunnah of the Prophet was, as much as possible was maintained up to the end. She never let this go out of hand. So for us, brothers and sisters, the lessons that are there to be learned from the life of Sayyida Zaynab is that without being a masoom, without having a direct connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we as well are able to, in the position to achieve a high standard of living, a high station of living. We as well can better our lives in this dunya and akhirah and achieve closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like Sayyida Zaynab. The secret is that we must follow the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Maybe this is the reason that when I come to a majalis of zikr, and Hadith Qisa is recited, and I still leave the gathering with my problems and afflictions, even though the Prophet at the end has promised that it will be removed. Why am I living with these problems? Because I did not understand the message of Hadith Qisa. Hadith Qisa is pointing me towards the household of the Holy Prophet and saying, look, if you practice what they preached, you can also achieve the status of Hazrat Abbas and Bibi Zaynab. And if you complete this in your own homes, your children will be like Janab Hazrat Abbas and Bibi Zaynab alayhi salam. So I have to start investigating and checking about myself and my nafs. How many things am I doing against what they've taught, and how many things can I rectify, so that the sooner I do this correction, the faster the healing process begins and the elevation towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We pray by the wasila of the 14 Masumeen and by the holy night and the birthday of this esteemed lady, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us all tawfiq to follow in the footsteps of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, such that on the day of Qiyamah, when we raise that our Imam should be proud to say that this is my ummah. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lift off all the afflictions and problems and calamities, not only amongst our households and our brothers here in Mombasa, but world over. We know what is happening in Bahrain and Egypt and other places. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove these afflictions from the Shia of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam and give us the victory that has been promised. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the wasila of the 14 Masumeen and Bibi Zaynab alayhi salam that He forgives all our gunah and kabira and sagira, such that when we live here, we live with clean slates, so that we can re-establish our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We also pray for the marees, for the sick, and for those who have problems in risk, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may cure the marees and remove the tight hold or the problems that may be blocking risk from reaching our brothers. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.